410, 409, 407, 406. No! 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 Fuck! The hype train. Choo choo, motherfuckers. Choo choo. I am the conductor of the Baysangur Susurkaev hype train. This is the fucking GOAT of the sport. I'm telling you guys, we are watching a champion in the making. Holy shit, he is so fucking good. He is the GOAT. He's 24 years old. He's 9-0. Fuck, there was a perfect kick as well. He's just showed some of the best takedown defense we've ever seen in Contender Series history. The glaze will continue. The glaze will not stop. I'm telling you guys, this guy, he is a future champion. Watch his fights. He is so good. Yes, he went the distance against Shane Subnovsky, but Subnovsky is a good fighter. Subnovsky is a tough dude. And Subnovsky has a win over Tyler Ray, signed to the PFL right now, by the way. And Ty Guerta, better than his record suggests, in my opinion. And then you watch his other fights, and he's getting knockouts. He's this opponent here, Ikrali Kukuchidze. He tried to take him down. Susurkaev said, and he reversed that shit. He ground and pounded him for a lot, and then he knocked him the fuck out in round number 2. Baysangur Susurkaev, future GOAT of the sport. I'm telling you guys, he's so fucking good at fighting. The glaze will continue. My fucking GOAT! Let's go! It's not glaze if it's the truth. It's not glaze if it's the truth. I hope that you guys enjoyed that compilation to start off my Contender Series week number 1 recap. They were some highlights and some lowlights of my live stream that I did do during this card. And I will be honest, this card itself had some highlights and it also had some lowlights as well. Let's talk about it. I started off 0-2 on predictions. I ended up 3-2. Now, obviously, being 3-2, it's not the goal. We're really trying to hit 4-1s and 5-0s on this channel, but a 3-0 card, it's a lot better than a 2-3 card, I will be honest. And I will say, when I started 0-2, I started to doubt myself. I got nervous. But then someone in my chat reminded me, do you know who else started 0-2? Jack Della Maddalena. We started 0-2, but we're going to ride this into the sunset. Week 2, Week 3, Week 4 stands no chance. I am confident that our dominance over Yanni the Greek will reign supreme. But let's talk about the card. Dana White. He wasn't a happy man, was he? And to be fair, it's because the card wasn't very good. But let's talk about the first fight of the night. Yuri Pamfarov beat Christopher Ewart. I will admit this wasn't a bad fight compared to some of the other fights on the card. However, it did look quite low level. Christopher Ewart actually looked absolutely awful at fighting. Pamfarov was beating him on the feet, and I will give Pamfarov some credit. Here's the thing. Yuri Pamfarov, his striking has improved dramatically. Like, this is something that he's clearly worked on, because he was landing great straight shots on Christopher Ewart. The score was 30-27, but it was based on the takedowns that Pamfarov got in round 2, 3, and 1. He actually got takedowns in all 3 rounds, got a couple of minutes of control time in all 3 rounds. I actually thought that Christopher Ewart won the 3rd round, but maybe that's just copium, I don't know, but I thought just kind of based on damage, Ewart did the more damage, and I'll get to that in the main event when we do talk about that one. But Pamfarov won the fight. I thought that he looked okay. I actually thought that he looked good enough to book Yuri Pamfarov again in week 9 or week 10. Like, he's a guy that fought on the first week. I don't think he took too much damage. Like, if you can find someone else out there at 185 pounds that's willing to fight in the Contender Series against Pamfarov in week 9 or 10, I don't really see why we don't just give him a second opportunity. Now let's talk about Radley De Silva versus George Mangos. Not a great fight, I will admit, but kind of like the outcome that was going to happen if Radley De Silva won the fight. Like, to be fair, I think my breakdown for this fight was pretty bang on, to be honest with you. Even though I am inhaling a bit of copium because I'm really sad that Mangos lost. I really am. But hear me out, right? Radley De Silva gets in there against Mangos, and the first thing I thought to myself was, oh my god, Radley De Silva is massive compared to Mangos. And as soon as he got that first takedown and Mangos just could not get up from that position, I did think to myself, oh, we're actually going to get this for 3 rounds, aren't we? And that kind of is what happened. But Mangos, to his credit, he was trying to finish the fight against De Silva, even in rounds 1 and 2. He was trying to take the back, get rear naked chokes, and I thought in moments he had opportunities, but he got too overzealous, too keen, and he slipped off the top on multiple occasions when he was given the top position. But De Silva kind of showed how good his wrestling and grappling is. And I know he hyped himself up as a capoeira striker, and I know I said that he throws so many spinning kicks, and he just didn't throw any, except for in the first and the third round. He does. If you actually do watch his Battlefield Fight League fights, he throws a lot of spinning kicks. I think he knew he wasn't going to get a contract off this performance. In his interview, he said, oh, well, at least I put myself out there. At least, the matchmakers know who I am. I can come back. And that's the gutting thing about this fight, guys, genuinely. These two are some of the best unsigned featherweights on the planet. They are. Both of them are. George Mangos and Radley De Silva. And because the fight wasn't very exciting, because it wasn't very great, neither of them got signed. And when I say Radley De Silva is a really good prospect, I mean it. You saw it. I know he won the fight in boring fashion, but he beat Mangos, who's very talented. Very talented. And then Mangos himself had his own moments in the third round, mostly, with that rear naked choke attempt at the end, gave me a lot of hope that he was going to get it. But, Mangos, if you think about it, if he had, a little bit more moments, he could have maybe stolen the decision, because De Silva was just controlling and doing absolutely nothing. So I think, if Mangos had, a moment where he had 30 seconds of top control and 30 seconds of ground and pound, he could have stolen one of the first 2 rounds, but I did think De Silva won 29-28. Very unfortunate to start 0-2, but I do believe a lot of other people were picking those 2 guys. I think a lot of sharps out there, though, sharper than Awesome, I guess, did have De Silva, so that was a good pick for them. Talha versus Susurkaev. Susurkaev looked good. You saw the clip. You saw how I feel about Susurkaev, deep down inside. I am the conductor of his hype train. I think Susurkaev is the real deal. I believe at 24 years old, we haven't really seen a prospect this good, and he wants to fight this weekend. I have an idea. I have a very good idea. Damian Pinaz had to pull out of the Contender Series in week number 1 because he couldn't get a visa. But guess where he is right now? Right now, the Baba Yaga is in Vegas. He has got a visa. He was ready to fight on Tuesday. Baysangur Susurkaev wants to fight on Saturday. Damian Pinaz would be the first fighter to represent Aruba. I believe also maybe potentially Suriname as well. The Baba Yaga, sign him to the UFC. He's 23 years old. Maybe an Atiba Gauthier-like prospect with his one-punch KO power. Baysangur Susurkaev versus Damian Pinaz, UFC 319. I want to see it happen. If not, Susurkaev could maybe fight on the Perth card, because that definitely needs another fight added. But I like Susurkaev as a prospect. This guy's good. You saw the flashes that I was talking about, the Israel Adesanya type striking, the elite takedown defense. And when he gets top control, even though he doesn't attempt takedowns himself, when he does get top control, he's good, man. He's really good, dude. Shane Shibnowski was unfortunately a victim of that wrestling of Susurkaev. He doesn't do it often, but when he does, my goodness, is he good. And I'm very glad Ty Miller got a contract, because Dana White, he scared me. He was kind of talking as if he wasn't going to sign Ty Miller, and I was thinking to myself, what do you mean? Ty Miller looked good. I think he had a great performance against a very, very, very live underdog. I saw a lot of people this week picking Jimmy Drago to win this fight. And I think that was valid. Because Ty Miller, he's a boxer, very heavy on his front leg. And Drago is very good at leg kicks. However, what happened was Ty Miller, it took him a while to warm up. I think a couple minutes in round number 1 to warm up. And then when he did, the combination started landing, man. He would land 2, 3-punch combinations. The accuracy of Ty Miller was unbelievable in moments in this fight, and he couldn't knock out Drago, but that is because Drago's chin is made of steel, dude. I saw Ty Miller land an uppercut that would knock out most guys at 170, and Drago ate it. Ty Miller, in the second and the third round, was landing shots that were spinning the neck of Drago. and Ty Miller was able to keep going, and Drago was throwing back. I didn't give Drago his credit here, I should. Drago threw less volume in this matchup, but he was throwing with power. He was trying to take his head off, man. And Ty Miller fought a very, very good fight. Sorry for the jump. I have lost my voice completely. This is going to be fast, but it doesn't matter because nothing happened anyway. The first round was good. Santana took down Buafia, catching a kick. And then Santana intentionally headbutt him. No doubt in my mind that was intentional. And then nothing happened after that. I mean, a point got deducted. Buafia won the first round 10-8. And I actually thought that Santana won rounds 2 and 3. But Santana was really annoying me. Because he was like telling Buafia to fight him and then not throwing himself. So that was kind of annoying me. But then Buafia won the fight 30-26 and 29-27. I thought Santana won rounds 2 and 3. But does it matter? Does it really matter? No. And I'll be honest, I was kind of hoping Dana would sign Buafia for the reason of I was going to fade him. He didn't do anything in there at all. Like, I don't think we see him come back on the Contender Series. Like, he did nothing. I will admit, Buafia versus Damian Pinaz does interest me a lot more than Panfrov versus Pinaz. But the reason why I keep bringing up Pinaz is because he's in Vegas right now. He's looking for a fight. But I would love to see Susurkaev versus Pinaz at UFC 319. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bang.